विचारों की शक्ति ही व्यक्ति की पहचान बनाती है. The power of thoughts creates the true identity of a person.
It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to today's debate competition organized by Karyappa House. Introduction of the judges are respected winner sir, respected wish sir, respected cadet sir.
Let us give them a huge round of applause. Rules and regulations. Point 1. Each participant will get 3 minutes to present their views. Point 2. Warning bell will ring after 2 minutes 30 seconds and another bell will ring 10 seconds before the completion of allotted time. Point 3. Participants are requested to conclude immediately after the final bell. Point 4. All students are requested to maintain the discipline and decorum of the venue. Point 5. Respect for every speaker and opinion is highly appreciated. Discipline is the bridge between goals and achievement. There are 2 topics for today's debate competition. Topic 1. Online classes should replace traditional classes. Topic 2. Social media affects mental health or not. Let's start topic 1. Online classes should replace traditional classes. Technology has changed the way we learn, communicate and grow. But the question is, can online education truly replace the warmth, interaction and discipline of traditional classrooms?
तकनीक ने शिक्षा को आसान बनाया है, लेकिन क्या यह गुरु और विद्यार्थी के संबंध की जगह ले सकती है? Technology has made education easier, but can it replace the bond between teacher and students?
Now, I would like to call upon stage Team 1 speaking for the motion on the topic online classes should replace traditional classes. Participant 1, Shubh Tiwari, House Karyappa. Participant 2, Lloyd, House Karyappa. Participant 3, Virgin, House Arjun. Participant 4, Anushka, House Manekshaw. Participant 5, Neha, House Arjun. Participant 6, Joel, House Arjun. Participant 8, Ranjana, House Manekshaw. Participant 9, Yasha, House Karyappa. Participant 10, Devam, House Katari. Participant 11, Shresha, House Katari. Participant 12, Dinesh, House Arjun. Different minds create different opinions, and that is the beauty of a debate.
Topic 2. Social media affects mental health or not. Social media connects millions of people within seconds. It entertains us, informs us and keeps us updated. But at the same time, it raises an important question. Is it helping mental health or silently harming it?
सोशल मीडिया लोगों को जोड़ता भी है और कभी-कभी अकेला भी कर देता है. Social media connects people yet sometimes make them feel lonely.
Now, I would like to call upon stage Team 3 speaking for the motion on the topic social media affects mental health or not. First participant, Devyani, House Manekshaw. Second participant, Dhruv, House Katari.
Respected judges, teachers and my friends, I am Shub and today I stand here in front of you strongly believing that online classes should replace traditional classes. We live in a modern era where our lives are being supported by machines. Machines have made our life so easy that you can see machines everywhere. Even during the pandemic time, it helped us so much. Tell me friends, if today the technology would be there, the young doctors, engineers you see, would they be here as professionals? Online classes are so flexible, modern and accessible that a student from a village can access the same amount of knowledge that a student from a big city can. Online education has made so much improvement and it's so interactive now that the good education that the student from the village is getting, the village of that student couldn't provide him. Online classes with the help of digital tools has made so much advanced, is now so advanced that online classes could help those different students with different learning speed and help them grasp the knowledge according to them. Features like recorded lectures, online quizzes, educational games had made education so simple that the student can revise anytime and anywhere. No doubt, online education has many advantages, but one main disadvantage is distraction. My friends, distraction could be easily cured with two skills, self-discipline and hard mindset. Today, self-discipline and hard mindset not only tackles this situation, but for demanding jobs, this is a very necessary skill. So last but not the least, the real question is not which mode of classes is better, but how can we combine both and make a smarter and inclusive education system is the real question to be asked. Thank you.
That was a beautiful performance. Now, I would like to call on stage Lloyd Kauskariappa speaking against the motion.
Good afternoon, respected judges, teachers, and my dear friends. Myself, Lloyd, standing in front of you against the motion. Let's start by taking COVID-19 pandemic as an example. During the pandemic time, schools in more than 190 countries were closed, and the education of more than 3.3 billion students were stuck. Let's not lie, but online classes was helpful during those times. But what was the actual outcome? Students lacked focus and got distracted through social media and video games. Students felt loneliness and depression and increased social anxiety. Also, students in rural areas, thousands of students in rural areas was not able to attend online classes because they could not afford the technology. Myself, I was not at all focused in online classes. I used to get distracted very easily by the noises in the house or by the messages I get as notifications or video games. Like me, there are thousands of students who might get distracted very easily. Also, those 3 years of online classes destroyed the education life of many students. Also, we should also think about the students in rural areas, those who cannot afford the technology for online classes. What about them? Education should be a right for each and every student, not only for those who can afford technology. My dear friends, tell me, can a computer screen replace the real human interaction? Can a computer screen give the actual vibes of a classroom? My dear friends, we will never find it in a virtual classroom. A computer can show many faces, but it cannot replace the vibes, the friendships we make, the little talks, everything we get in a classroom. We will never find it in a virtual classroom. Also, my dear friends, in this time, talking about online classes, there is less availability of internet. Talking about here, we only only find Airtel over here. So think about more rural areas. We won't get enough data or mobile data for online classes. Standing in front of you, I strongly support online classes. Thank you.
Now, I would like to call on stage a third participant speaking for the motion, Worship House Arjun.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today I am going to talk about the motion on the topic debate learning and online learning should be replaced by traditional learning. Just imagine a student in a class without walls, where a student in a village can be learned by the worldwide best teachers by just conflict. This is the power of digital learning. We are in a world which is driven by technology, and if you see from shopping to communication, everything is done by technology and digital learning. And firstly, if we talk about digital learning and its uses, students can save their time by the use of online classes and digital learning. If we just by the help of online study materials, online classes, and even they can build the recorded lectures. Now, one of my fellow commentators just said, during COVID-19, many of the students just were playing games. It all depends on the student who is watching. If a student wants to study, wherever he will be, he will study. It all depends on what type of classes he is listening or what he is doing. It just depends on how the student is. So we can't just say like online classes can't be used. So do you think we can just roam in the school? No. You have to use online classes and be safe at home. It was little bit wrong, I hope so. But online classes will help as when the COVID pandemic was there, we can't go out. So we can't stop it. But we can use online classes. This is one of the use. We can use online classes and even it saves time. Many students are not the same. Some like visualization and they like critical thinking. Do you think quantum theory or like the history and geography just can be drawn on the boards? But whereas if we use the digital tools, for example smart tool, we can just split the screen and use the geographical map, which helps the students to understand and visualize better. So I want to conclude that digital learning should be replaced by traditional learning, and so that it brings a smarter and nice, most educated system. Thank you.
Now, I would like to call on stage speaking against the motion, Anushka Hausmann.
Education is not about information, it's about connection, values, and human interactions. Chemistry should replace a teacher's motivation, a friend's support, and classroom discussions that are held in classrooms. Hello everyone, I'm Anushka Sharma from Class 11, representing Manisha House, and today I stand firmly against the motion that digital learning should replace traditional classes. I oppose this motion because education is far more than just simply attending lectures. At first, traditional classes provide genuine, real connections. A teacher not only teaches formulas and facts, but also inspires, guides, motivates, and emotionally connects with the student. Can an online notification ever replace the warmth of a teacher saying, "You can do it"? I highly doubt. The bond between a student and a teacher is something that technology can never replace. Secondly, classrooms create a very nice environment. It provides us with discipline and qualities like leadership and hard work. These are the qualities that cannot be earned without real human interactions. Many people may say that digital learning helps us gain qualities, but do you really think you can gain these by sitting behind a blank screen that totally depends upon the Wi-Fi? Thirdly, classrooms are some of the things that provide us with an opportunity to discuss your thoughts, your opinions, and create connections with humans. Digital learning is a risk of transforming students into data when a bedroom becomes a classroom, the environment does not help you study properly. The same place that is meant to rest, when it turns into a place for studying, it becomes harder for the student to concentrate properly. In conclusion, I would like to say that education always needs a human touch to it, and not everything is supposed to be digital. Thank you.
Wow, you explained your point beautifully. Now, our next participant speaking against emotion, Sneha House Arjun.
A very good afternoon to Colonel Sir, respected Director Sir, teachers and my dear colleagues. Myself Sneha Singh from Arjun House, and I am really grateful for having the opportunity to present my words against the motion. So let us go back to the ancient time, when gurus used to teach their chhatras in the open nature, under the tree. They not only used to learn bookish language, but also the gyan of Astra Shastras. We can take the best example of Arjuna, who used his focus and compatibility to win the chance to marry Draupadi by hitting the eye of a fish in the Sabha. Now let us come back to the present time. If online way of learning would have been so much better than traditional learning, then it would have continued after COVID pandemic. COVID pandemic taught us that traditional way of learning is far much better than online way of learning, because the interaction between teacher and student is the best in traditional way of learning. And the perfect example we can take is of the place we are right now. Here students come to prepare for competitive exams for the armed forces with the help of tutors and classmates without any social distractions. Here we help each other with the help of books, with the knowledge we study, and we motivate each other. Social learning cannot give the environment which is needed for the competitive exams and for better learning. And lastly, I will conclude that traditional way of learning is far much better in my view than online way of learning, because it gives a perfect environment to study and learn the things better, not only the bookish language but also physically and mentally. Thank you.
Our next participant, Joel, speaking against emotion, House Arjun.
Good morning to one and all present here. I'm Joel, representing the Arjun group. First of all, online learning should help the offline learning, but it is nowadays replacing it. That's how our opponents say it. But I totally disagree with it. In the case of offline learning, people share their thoughts, teachers feel comfortable to teach, and the student is very much comfortable to ask the doubts. And teachers with real life examples, like Shakti sir teaches us every day with real life examples that makes the class more interesting. And in the case of online classes, most of the people don't take it very much seriously. And the people who take it seriously succeed, but I'm talking about the majority. And my fellow mate told that geography with the help of smart boards are very easy to teach. Brother, before these smart boards, how did people teach geography? With the help of a 2 rupee map, right? Am I right? And you also must have learned with them. So here's our position for that. And I'm also telling that there are many disadvantages like eye strain, sleep cycle, and anxiety issues while using online classes. And internet, chalkboard does not have lag, hangs, or even does not face internet issues like smart boards or even any online classes. And people say that one of my fellow mates told that even a village guy can access the best teachers by using online tools. But I totally disagree. In the case of Tamil Nadu, we have every government school, at least one government school in around 30 kilometers apart, where people you want another very good educational tool, like educational teachers, we have JNK where we only need to write an entrance examination where they give free education and a qualitative education. So I would like to conclude my speech saying that online learning should help offline learning, not replace it, and it can never replace it. Thank you.
Now, I would like to call upon stage, speaking for the motion, Ranjana, House Manager.
We don't use horse carriages to travel or carrier pigeons to send messages. The world is no longer confined to four walls and a chalkboard. So why are we still using a 19th century education model to prepare a 21st century world? Hello everyone, this is Ranjana representing Maniksha House standing before you to strongly support the motion that digital classes should replace traditional classes. First, digital learning provides unmatched flexibility. Why should a student future depend on where they live? A student living in a small town can now access the same quality education as someone in a big city. Learning is no more restricted to locations and rigid schedules. Second, learning education. Online education provides better resources like videos, animations, simulations and videography makes through videos, simulations and animations, people can easily understand hard concepts that are very hard to understand. Thirdly, let us compare the learning environment itself. Thirdly, let us compare the learning environment itself. In traditional classes, teachers handles approximately 30 to 40 students at a time. Each student has its own ability, capability and access to studies. And can you think that one style is acceptable for everyone? There is a big question mark.
30 seconds left.
In conclusion, I would like to say that digital learning is not a replacement for traditional classes, but it is merely a powerful step forward to make learning more accessible, flexible, and effective.
Now, we call upon stage our next participant, Yashraj from House Karyapa.
Good afternoon to all elders, people sitting here, and also my opponents. Do we all remember 2020 or 2019, the COVID pandemic year? The world ran the biggest experiment in human history. And what it was? The COVID. And what was the result of that experiment? In that experiment, there was a major setback for the students. The learning loss was so severe that it set students many years back. the students were desperate and anxious to get back to the classes. And my opponents have just said that about the 4 words. Let me tell you one thing very clearly, that the people who lived in 19th century or the people who are living in the 20th century, the doctors, the engineers, and all that successful persons, they have said in that 4 words only, in that traditional classrooms. Now I want to ask all those people sitting here, we all did online, we all have done online classes. Now what is the reason that we are sitting here? I guess we already have the answers for it. But for my opponents, I have to share some valid points. My point 1, education is not about just mathematical formulas, physics derivations, and chemical equations. It is also about the character transformation. Education is the process of the character transformation. And that there is no algorithm, there is no online system, there is no online protocol that teaches a student how to shake hands after a defeat, how to cooperate in a team. And these are not just the soft skills, these are the survival skills. Second point, you just said about village. Who has electricity? Who has Wi-Fi? Half of the world, if we go on the scientific reports, half of the world doesn't have Wi-Fi network. There is no electricity, there is no proper mobile systems. And then we say that we want an education system. It is not that easy to implement. And even after the implementation, there was a report that 15% low attendance was there. 15% low attendance was there. Then the mandatory attendance. In my conclusion, all I want to say is that you cannot download wisdom, you cannot stream anything. Some things must remain good and very unapologetic education. Thank you.
Now, I would like to call upon stage Diva House Katari speaking against emotion.
Good afternoon, respected sir, teachers and classmates. Now I am going to start with traditional learning is beneficial in comparison to digital learning. In traditional learning, the child can ask the question on the spot, while in digital learning, the child has to wait for minutes by just creating and digitally. In traditional learning, if a child has a doubt and needs another way of explanation, the child can just divide the video. But what if the child needs another way of explanation? But in traditional learning, it's not the same. If a child needs another way of explanation, the teacher tries and makes sure that the teacher tries and makes sure that the student understands the topic and make the student so much capable that the student can just explain the topic to anyone. In traditional learning, there is a face-to-face communication with the teacher and the pupil, which makes the child more interactive. Okay, let's take the example for the purpose we have covered. SST. In SST, they do not see that the person has scored how many marks in 10th or 12th examination. They see that how is the person built his communicative skills, or how is the person socially, emotionally, and physically developed. And this all does not develop by watching videos on YouTube. This all develops by interacting physically in classrooms. In traditional learning and digital learning, if a child has a doubt, not everyone has the access to internet or devices. So education will be not possible for everyone, which can decrease the growth of our country. Therefore, digital learning is helpful but cannot replace traditional learning in classroom. Thank you.